Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Binding of Isaac, Repentance, where today we're gonna try out Tainted Magdalene, and hopefully have a good time. You start with the Yum Heart, and if I use it, in the bottom right you can see the Yum Heart. My heart is flashing. If I deal damage to enemies with my secret melee attack that happens when I run into enemies, they're gonna drop health guaranteed, I believe. It deals pretty high damage, so it's pretty damn strong as well, so good times indeed. Occasionally enemies will drop half hearts as well, and I'm slowly degenerating health until I am at that 2 heart mark right there. But as you can see, the melee attack, especially early on, is rather powerful at dealing with all the various enemies here. Unfortunately, you do end up degenerating all your health slowly but surely until you reach 2 hearts, including soul hearts, I do believe. But there are certain strategies that you can apply that just make you really powerful. Also against bosses you're obviously not as strong because they do end up not dying immediately. And you leave a creep attack behind whenever you are in that leaky heart situation. So that's more or less the character. There is some interesting tidbits about this character, mostly the fact that if you have Sharp Plug, you can get just invulnerability due to the fact that you can use the Yum Heart to heal 2 hearts and then use the Sharp Plug to take away 2 hearts again. But you end up basically losing... Well, you have a little bit of invulnerability whenever you use the Sharp Plug, so because of that invulnerability, you can just continuously stay invulnerable, and it's rather nice. With bosses like this, you can just run into it and so much health drops that nothing is gonna go wrong. And also I don't know if I mentioned it already, but this current health situation also retains your devil deal when you take damage. So it is a very safe strategy a lot of the time, and it is just, it's interesting. It's something else for sure, as we are just running into everything right now. Not sure if I'd want to have Crack the Sky over Shoot the Whoop. You know what? I'm gonna give it a shot, just to see if it works out. And hopefully it will. Due to my low money situation, I don't think I can really try to go for the shop right now, unless the secret room's right here. It's not. It's probably next to the shop then. That's unfortunate. It was in one of the places and I had to gamble there, unfortunately. Healed up quite a lot, as you can see the moment I grabbed that food item. I do believe you get some more health from certain things. Something like the Leech and Curse the Vampire, I think, end up healing you more than it ordinarily would as well. So that can be rather nice. And I'm hoping that we can just stay at a rather high health situation. The sacrifice room is fairly scary to use right now. I'm not loving the idea of that too much. But we might consider it. Time I didn't take damage for some reason. I'm not sure why. I mean, I'll take it, but it's unusual. And let's just leave the marked tears alone. Even with a character like this one, I don't particularly care for it unless we get something that combines with it in a way where the main effect isn't as prominent, I suppose. Mostly what we're looking for right now is things like Sharp Plug, the car battery, stuff like that, just to make my Yum Heart a lot stronger. 4.5 volt can be particularly good against certain bosses as well, like Delirium and things, so hopefully we can find something in that regard. And as per usual, we're just going to be going for Mega Satan first of all before doing anything else there. Need to watch out for their creep as well, unfortunately, but this is not the most difficult boss fight with the amount of creep damage that we are leaving behind here, provided we can get them to actually run into it, which is providing a little bit more difficult than expected, but those flies are also just going to be able to heal us up very nicely. Now, given the speed we're going, I'm not particularly worried about not reaching boss rush in time, so I'm just going to explore for a little bit longer to see if we can get some more money and stuff like that. There is a destructible rock over there, which is a little tempting since it's at least guaranteed money, but I'd love to go for my secret room if I can. Since it's definitely not going to be enough money to buy anything anyway, so I would prefer to go for this, hopefully. There we go, and it had 5 coins, which is roughly what I would have gotten had I gone in the other direction as well, so fair enough on that front, I suppose. I might as well check out the curse room as well, since there is that rainbow poop waiting for us. One more coin, and we might as well check out the sacrifice room as well. I could actually just use it once or twice because of that situation that we got going on. Maybe we can just get a little bit more money. Come on. You feel blessed. Alright. Don't really want to teleport to the devil deal range. Well, not the devil deal, really. So I'm just going to leave that alone. And instead, let's just move on. Unfortunately, again, didn't quite get enough money. If there is something good in my shop and it's on sale, then we are going to miss out on that. But I'm just going to hope that's not going to be the case. Maybe destroy a couple of poops here and there as well, just to try and get those 2 remaining coins. But as it stands, the game is not interested in giving me free things, which is fair enough, I suppose. You do end up playing rather quick with this character, unless you wish for death, I suppose. But you don't have much of a choice with how your health is degenerating the entire time. So you are constantly making decision on that front. This enemy doesn't deal contact damage, I believe, and hopefully that's true. Otherwise I'm in trouble. But it did seem to work out in my favor just then. But the fact that you also don't lose your Angel Room chance when you do stuff like this is just wonderful, because it really does simplify a lot of things by quite a lot, because I can just run into genuinely so much stuff. It is based on your tier damage, how much damage the melee attack does, but as you can see, that is not a particular worry at this moment. And I can use the creep against enemies like these that deal a full heart of damage as well, so it ends up working out rather nicely. Empress card could be interesting. Free curse room effectively as well, although I would like to blow up that shopkeeper right there. I'd rather check out the curse room, I think. Wasn't the greatest choice I've ever made, but it worked out. Also failed to pick up that last half a heart there, but hopefully that's not going to end up being a problem either. And if need be, we can probably find 1 coin somewhere on this floor, but it's not guaranteed, of course. Even those mushrooms aren't much of a problem where you can just destroy them like that. But yeah, as you can see with how strong the melee attack is, you can probably imagine that if you are invulnerable due to the sharp plug and vulnerability periods, that you end up being pretty strong, simply due to the fact that everything just ends up dying and you have nothing to worry about. And it does make the character a little bit easier than other characters for sure when you reach that situation. It's definitely not guaranteed to ever be in that situation, of course, but you can certainly try for it, and it's certainly recommended you do so to make life as easy as possible on yourself at the end of the day. And I'm really just rushing into everything right now in the hope that we can retain picking up those hearts all the time. Backstabber could be useful, I suppose. What's that? High Priestess or... I'll take High Priestess, actually. Don't have a key. Unusual. We have cleared out every room so far, but we ended up not having a key. I could quickly check for a super secret room, but we are reaching the point where my health is starting to decay. And it's not over there. We have 1 bomb remaining. Also, I need to have 1 bomb available for the angel statue, of course, so that is an important thing to remember. I will run into these right here. Ah, that went horribly. That did not go the way I had hoped. Not the way I had envisioned that going, unfortunately, but fair enough. Tears down, really? Alright, Mega Fatty. That was wonderful. Let's use the High Priestess as well. Just clear that fight instantly. And we did get an angel statue there. And we got a key as well, which is wonderful. 2 angel statues, in fact, which does simplify things a bit. I might play this a little safe with the second... No, I don't have enough bombs for the second angel statue, actually. Whoops. Oh, well. I guess we're only destroying 1 today because we only have 1 bomb at our disposal right now. But at least we ended up with 1 angel statue destroyed, which is good progress towards that Mega Satan. And we do end up with 2 hearts at the end of the day that don't disappear as well. If you get Birthright, you get a 3rd heart as well, which can be very useful, of course. But we haven't entered the shop yet because we just aren't getting enough money for most floors. But we might be able to buy something good on this one, now that we actually have a key as well. What do we got? It is Telepills. Might as well. Don't really regret eating that at this particular stage. I could go back for that red heart, but I feel like I'm going to be losing my hearts by the time I actually reach it, so it's probably not going to be worthwhile. Right. That's not amazing. I'll just take that and leave, I guess, and hope that it doesn't completely deteriorate by the time I reach the end of this floor. Because it's like 1/2 a heart per 10 seconds, like something like that. There was another one over there as well, so hopefully we have enough health to just heal up on the next floor as quickly as possible. Make that work out. There's a cursed loss, which I'm never really too fond of, obviously. Trying... Oh, yeah, that's awkward, actually. This is a pretty horrendous room for this character in particular. If only were for the fact that we just cannot heal up as easily without flight right now. Okay, that was unfortunately a heart that wasn't quite what I had anticipated. Balls of steel, not bad. It's at least some extra health to work with, which I can appreciate. And yeah, I'm just shooting these because I don't have much of a choice right now, but I will also use the Yum Heart to heal up a little bit. Get those red hearts filled up. And now we're back on track to just destroy everything all the time. I would like to have a better build. Right now the build isn't that amazing. There's a lot of bombs over there, which I might actually end up going for. That's actually a little awkward to do as well, just because you end up losing money when you run into these particular enemies. So I might just not do that anymore. Because I would like to have some options available here. I have the quicker explosion trinket right now, and you might say that I didn't drop it by accident, and that's correct. But it kind of ends up working out because I do want to be going fairly quickly all the time. It's probably going to bite me in the butt at some point, but I kind of like the idea that we can just keep that going for a while. This, once again, just going to play it safely just because I do deal a full-hearted damage. And I don't quite have any protection right now, so I'd rather just play it safe. Still can't see my map. I'm checking it every single time, but every single time is a disappointment. And I'm real quickly just going to check out this bottom area right here. Because I wasn't sure which direction we were supposed to be going into right now. Spider webs are actually being a bit more detrimental than you might ordinarily expect. But I was hoping that this would lead to a quick dead end, and unfortunately that doesn't appear to be the case. But perhaps we can make this work. Let's just check this real quick. It's another angel room, very nice. Breath of life as well, which in some instances can be a good item. Not particularly this one, because it requires you to wait for long periods of time to really properly use it, but still, there are certainly instances where it's technically not terrible. And perhaps one day we'll even see one of those. Let's just grab that heart, didn't mean to pick that up. And now we are in our classic 2-heart situation. I can use the Yum Heart whenever I want to heal up 2 red hearts, I believe. But for now, let's just try and play this safe. We really just need to survive this fight, and then we're pretty much good to go for the Mega Satan related stuff at least, and that would be wonderful. I will also say that if we somehow end up getting the sharp plug, then my apologies for the rest of this run, because it is just going to be a lot of screaming sounds the entire time. It took some unfortunate damage there. We did also lose our angel room, which I guess isn't too bad actually, because we already went in there. So if we end up not being able to open the door, that's actually fine, because then we'll have higher odds on the next floor. So it's actually kind of preferable that I took that extra damage there. Did end up getting a little bit of health from the enemy there as well, which is wonderful, because even though they may not get melee attack, which guarantees the heart drop, occasionally they still do, and that is just a nice way to get back on that leaky heart situation. So far so good. It can be a scary character in situations like this though, because my build is fairly terrible right now. There just isn't that much going on, unfortunately. And we are fighting enemies that deal 1 full heart of damage per hit, so it can obviously go rather wrong. That fly is doing a lot of work in protecting that one enemy there as well. And unfortunately, because it ended up not being quite the dead end I was hoping for, I probably am going to have to go back up to the top right again just to make sure that we're not missing out our shop and item room and stuff like that. So we're going to go for a little walk here and go up, I believe. Down, I believe. No, up after all. Maybe it was up. Oh yeah, and then there were multiple directions. Oh god. This is an awkward floor to be lounging in, but fair enough, I suppose. This is also fairly awkward enemy types because of all that creep they are leaving behind. But it is nice to be at enough health to leave that creep behind yourself, obviously, due to the fact that it is a pretty important part of my damage right now, so I need to do something with that stuff. No greed, but also a jar. And the jar could be interesting. How interesting is the jar? Probably fairly interesting, right? Because I don't know how it exactly works with this character, but I'm curious to see if you end up just dropping a lot of hearts in there. It wouldn't be the strangest thing in the world with how many hearts you're actually picking up. But obviously we do need to get to full health, which hasn't really been working out so far, but I feel like there's potential in the jar. And I'm hoping to reach that potential as we are progressing through this run. Again, it is going to require a little speed, and of course this was the right direction for the boss room. It is an awkward floor for sure, and I love not having a map here because it is confusing me. Also, this enemy is just being the coolest. Just really nice. Very cool. Okay. I can open that up. I have 1 key, so it's not preferable, so I still need to find my item room on this floor, I think. Actually just gonna bomb that once. Kinda was hoping to do a melee attack against that fly there so we could get that heart guaranteed, but I think this is going fine. I forgot to pick up the red heart there, which is unfortunate. That's gonna heal me up pretty good, so I'm just gonna leave that there for now. Also have that yum heart in case things get too spicy, but so far things are kinda working out. Our time-wise, we're fairly terrible, mostly because of those angel fights, I suppose, with a build that wasn't that great, so maybe this isn't going to be the run where we're going to end up doing boss rush, but it is what it is. Unless we get that invulnerability I was talking about earlier, it doesn't seem very likely, so... Unfortunately, you can only do so much about that. We might be able to get Mama Mega or something like that somewhere along the line, but I'm not seeing it as particularly hopeful right now. Awkward. Rune bag. I mean, it's not a bad item, but if you get nothing else, then it's just simply not good enough. So yeah, I'm actually gonna just take some time here. Just gonna check the arcade room in a second as well, because I'd love to get more than 1 key for the next floor, perhaps. Take that. Might as well just run into these enemies while we're at it. Did we get an angel room to open? I don't think we did, because... You know, our odds were really low, but I guess I didn't even check. I probably should have at least looked slightly, but yeah, it is what it is. Alright, so let's go in here. It is a battery bomb, which I will actually blow up. I'm going to blow up both of these, and there is a key there. That was a great way to bomb myself. I did say it was going to bite me in the butt eventually, and there we are. Let's just take that. I'm going to lower my health quite a bit here. There we go. Little rough. Kind of concerned about that soul heart that's blinking, as you can see, because I think it's going to go away in a second. And that could be rather treacherous, and indeed it is slowly disappearing. It's a good thing I saved half a heart there, because otherwise death would probably be imminent, which wouldn't be ideal. I really need to drop this trinket. That was way too close. Also, I need to actually get that health before I go into that secret room, because if there is greed in there, I'm probably gonna die with this build, so I can't really risk that, unfortunately. But look at how much health we got from that. It is very much nice indeed. Yeah, Empress card again. Well, fair enough. Let's just quickly leave this floor, and hopefully we can get some stuff going on in the next floor. I am slightly regretting the jar choice. Just because I'm starting to feel like it's going to be really tricky to get this to work if we don't actually have a build that kills enemies, but perhaps we will get into situations where we can actually do some work. So hopefully that's going to be the case. Playing this fairly slow right now, trying to pick up the health, but the enemies were not playing nice there, unfortunately. But at least these last two were, and one of them actually even dropped something. Can be kind of tricky to tell which chests are bad if you drop blood all over the place, because blood can be an indicator of a mimic chest after all. Ah, god, the pins also were perfectly dodging me in that second one there. But it's working out okay. Yeah, I don't particularly see any possibility in making this in time for boss rush at the rate we're going right now, but oh jeez. Really struggling with these enemies because our damage is 2.6. It's so bad. It has not been raised at all in this run, which is awkward for sure. It is not great, and we are also just about at the point to lose that last half a heart right there, so I can't really... There we go. we can make some stuff work again. Because these enemies are wonderful with how much heart they drop. But obviously, I can't exactly run through the spikes right now because we don't have flight or anything that protects us from spikes. So, not ideal. These enemies take a little bit more health than I'd hoped. Also the creep. And my creep being effectively the same looking is not great. But look at how many hits it takes to kill these. Like, I believe the melee damage is like 6 times your damage, and they still ended up taking like 3 hits before they died. It's actually kind of wild. So I'm hoping we can get something good in our item room, maybe something in our angel room or devil deal as well. That would be wonderful. Still hoping for that sharp plug, obviously, because it really does simplify everything so much. Soul of Samson, that's obviously rather nice to clear out a bunch of stuff as well. Not sure. I'm just actually just going to use that immediately because, quite frankly, I don't have the patience for this. These enemies are going to die fairly quickly, hoping that I can clear off a little bit here. That's nice. And deliberately not yet going into that item room because of Soul of Samson, but as it has run out, might as well. World card, I'm just going to use that. We have 6 bombs and 7 keys right now. I'm not sure what happened to my key count, but I'll take it. This, again, is not terrible, but it's just not very great for my current build. And that is awkward. We do at least have a fully charged Yum Heart, which is nice. I feel like none of the hearts were actually going inside the jar, unfortunately. And seeing greed here is my nightmare, really, because I just can't do that much against greed unless I use bombs. So let's just do that. At least greed's not over here, so that's rather nice. And I guess I'll take this just because I'm noticing my situation, really. So let's just keep going. We do have a pretty decent amount of money right now to work with. That is a champion right there in the top left right there. He's wiggling a bit. It might be a little tricky to see, but he's there and he's spawning flies, so that's a good time, but he died fairly quickly. Grab those hearts and be on our way. There is Loki with his little spiky rock. Managed to do some damage there. Hopefully that bomb hits. It did hit. Doesn't do that much damage. Let's actually use this as well. The jar is part of Lord of the Flies transformation and also gives us some flies to work with, so it's pretty nice. No damage to be found anywhere in this run except for the jar of flies currently at my disposal. That is the closest thing we currently have available to what you could call damage, so not looking great. Looking very awkward indeed, but hopefully we can make some stuff work here. Trying to just get this one to bounce back and forth into creep, and that worked out fairly well. Very nice. Another Soul of Samson, really. Fair enough. I'll take it every single time because it's never really that bad. I will just keep using it to clear these floors because I kind of need something to work with here. We're going to fill our jar of flies nicely with a bunch of flies, obviously, because every enemy you kill... I'm not sure if it has a chance to spawn a fly in that jar or if it just always gives you one, but either way, it's quite nice. These enemies die fairly quickly and then also spawn another enemy that more or less insta-dies to our melee attack, so that is wonderful. Just gonna shine that light bulb on you and a little bit of melee damage there. Maybe throw down a bomb or something and just open up a secret room by accident, really. I will take that. Another key. Health-wise looking kind of rough, but overall we're running. But let's see if we can maybe get a damage up in this floor. There is one more item room to go, so there is technically a chance. But it is looking a little scary, because I really would like to have a build for when we reach like the more difficult parts of the run. Little tempted by that demon beggar, actually, but I don't know if it's a wise plan. I could just give him a couple hearts with the Yum Heart and then start recharging it. But I don't know if it's a very good idea, for sure. Get all these. Very nice. Where is everything? Let's just drop some flies all over the place. Fortunately, the enemies that are dying are nice enough to actually drop some health, sometimes out of range, unfortunately, but it's mostly working out so far. Yeah, I'm actually really tempted to go for that demon beggar, even though it might not be the smartest idea in the world. I could also use that red heart that's currently in my secret room as well. It is in a corner to the top right or something like that. The nail. Oh god, I mean I should use it I guess, but I don't. What does it say about deal contact damage? That could actually end up being really good, but it does slow you down so much. I don't know. That's a tricky one. I don't hate it, but I'm not like super tempted or anything either. Over the jar of flies? Because the health is effectively irrelevant, so it's really just about what you get in the room itself. And I'm hoping that not taking it is a good idea, because I don't like the idea at all. Let's just... wow. You just went around that perfectly. Very nice. I should first run into him, I guess. Soul of Lilith? We're getting a lot of souls. So that's working out. Able. It's part of the conjoined transformation. Could end up being useful if we never get a damage up, but we can end up shooting a lot of tears, then at least it's something. That was a big dead end as well, so... good times. Quickly run back to our regular path. My movement speed is fairly low as well. I mean, it's better than regular Magdalene for sure, but it's still fairly rough. That is another beggar. It's damage. It's something. Yeah, this is all just not quite that interesting, unfortunately. It's a shame. It's an actual real shame, because it would be nice to get good stuff. Oh well. Let's just make a run for it while we still have some of those good hearts in our pocket. Very nice. Just run into you. It's always good if you can run into multiple enemies at a time, but occasionally the game does not want that to happen. The flashlight is working out fairly well right now, though, so that's at least something. I believe you drop spiders sometimes, and I'm hoping that was going to work out a little bit better than it did, but fair enough. Not sure where my super secret room is. It looks to be in an awkward location, and those enemies. Any enemy that just spawns enemies is just wonderful. More of those, please. I'm already here. Wow, we're actually making decent progress in terms of the actual run. It's just that it's a rough build. It is a rough build for sure. Stuff like Red Stew would probably be like just amazing as well. If you can get something like that, then you can end up dealing so much contact damage for at least a while. But unfortunately, it's just not to beat. This fight shouldn't be too difficult just because Mom ends up spawning so much stuff. And anything that runs into me is going to end up giving us health, so I'm not too concerned about this fight other than it's going to take a while. I could also use his Empress card, but I'm kind of saving it for later. Somewhat absent-mindedly, admittedly, but still, I am technically saving it for later. As long as you just keep spawning spiders, and I'm entirely okay with that. I don't love the greed heads personally, but the feet attacks are also not quite landing into creep sometimes, seemingly, which is not great. We are staying on a decent amount of health at least, though. But I would love to get an angel room or a devil deal or something like that. That would just give us a little bit more. That'll be so nice for sure. I'm gonna run into you for the health. The big spiders. Very capable of spawning little spiders after they die after all, so that could end up being good. Take that. Probably not the best idea. I could really use the damage. The Polaroid isn't really going to do that much. The items in the chest might have been really good, but I really need some damage right now because that's just what we don't have. Unfortunately, the door didn't open. So that's also not looking too great. There's an okay chance of a secret room there. There you go. Nice room. Quickly run around. Using the melee attack is definitely a lot more precarious now simply because we do end up taking twice the amount of damage on these floors as we did in the previous floors. So that one full heart of damage every time you take a hit is probably not going to be worth it all the time. There is a sacrifice room there, which is mildly tempting. Very much on the mild side. And that is not where I currently want to take a walk, so instead we're just going to leave that alone, I think. Soul of Samson? I guess that's the rune bag, isn't it? Yeah. That is actually ending up being pretty useful. You can also use the sword to pick up hearts as well, so that's obviously rather nice. Just gonna use that Yum Heart immediately, kill these enemies as well. Use those flies at the best of my ability. Hopefully we can just kill Mr. Fred from an angle here. The enemies he's spawning might end up giving us some health as well. And we have a decent chance of the Angel Room or Devil Deal opening, so I'm hoping that's gonna work out. Please, last enemy. Angel Room, we can't see what it is, but that's usually fine in Angel Rooms, I suppose. Star Bethlehem, not bad, but not great either with a character that requires to go quick. It doesn't go very well, those two things, but you know what? We're managing. We're doing our best here. We can at least tell where we have to go from the start, assuming he doesn't take some sort of weird secret room shortcut, which is obviously not impossible. It does happen. And maybe if we do something like this, God, it would be really nice to have that for the boss for sure, but it's just not viable. You end up with so little health that it's probably not going to be worthwhile. Just going to blow that up at the top. Did end up getting a secret room. Fair enough. Wasn't even particularly looking for that, but it was more just there was technically a chance, and that was just good enough, really. Might as well use these flies to get rid of this particular boss. The jar of flies is actually being very helpful throughout this run. Luck up right there. Probably a mini boss to the top or a challenge room. Yeah, challenge room. We could check out the challenge room, but killing a boss just doesn't seem like that good of a time right now. A lot of money, but I don't really have a use for that, unfortunately. Unless we're going to Hush, which I'm not exactly looking forward to. Is that just going to go away immediately? I'm actually not sure how those Eternal Hearts are going to work exactly, but I didn't expect it to be going there. I should use the Yum Heart as well, thinking about it. Mustn't forget that is a very capable way of staying alive right now. Yeah, could check out the challenge room for sure. It is a boss challenge room, so there would be an item in there, but I'm not sure if I want to bother with that just now. Ended up being able to use that Star Bethlehem to clear out this room really quickly. Might have been a good room to just kill some enemies in just for the sake of getting some of my health back, but I'd argue that it ended up working out fairly well. Better than I had anticipated in any case, so far fairly happy about my Soul of Bethlehem. Soul of Azazel, very good as well. We'll actually take that into the boss room, I think, and then just use it immediately. Hopefully we'll be able to retain a decent amount of health at least. It does last for a while, the Soul of Azazel, but not like super long. It's like 6 seconds or something like that. So I would like to just make use of that. That is kind of awkward. It's like almost at the point where I kind of want to keep the Soul of Azazel and then just wait for the Star of Bethlehem because it's already so close. But at the same time, I hate waiting as this character so much for obvious reasons, but it is going to be so strong. Look at that. There went the Eternal Heart. That's actually really unfortunate. I was hoping to be able to keep that. Can I look for my super secret room real quick? Maybe there's something good in there. Technically possible. Let's just check a couple of these rooms before we end up going to the boss. One more. They are all possible. Yeah, fair enough. I could go one more, I think, but I'd rather just keep going at this stage. The thing should be there. Yeah, the Star of Bethlehem is in this boss fight. So that's good. Obviously very useful when your build isn't super powerful, and I'd argue that it isn't. There we go. Star of Bethlehem plus that as well is just so much extra damage at the end of the day. We have the negative, so we're going down. We didn't get a Devil Deal, unfortunately, even though we technically didn't lose our chance at the end there. And yeah, since we're at 2 hearts anyway, I might as well just follow this star around for a little bit until we reach a better health situation. Because we are no longer strapped for time. We perfectly didn't quite make it to Hush there as well, so yeah. Perfect timing, unfortunately. And then there's rooms like this where you... that's actually kind of awkward, because I kind of want to get through this as quickly as possible. But it does take a minute to clear this. And I'm hoping that the star is not going to be gone by the time I get here, but that's fine. Take that. I'm saving the Yum Heart right now. It's a bad idea, so I'm going to use it. That was awkward damage right there. Didn't mean to take that. Didn't notice the spikes. So we're back at 2 hearts. Okay. That's not what you want to see. But fair enough. We'll be able to get back our health in a second here, so that's good. Ugh. Unfortunate when you try to stay close to that Star Bethlehem that you do end up taking some damage that you're obviously trying to avoid, and there is the boss already. With a Yera, so that could end up being good. I kind of forgot about the Soul of Azazel, not gonna lie. But I might end up using that here. Went in there a little bit earlier because you have to wait here anyway. I'm hoping that worked out perfectly. Very nice. That was unfortunate. Please. Alright, so this is pretty strong. It's a little bit tricky to see, as you can tell. And unfortunately, it might not last long enough. Yeah, God. That's not great. That's not great at all. Because now I have to fight the boss properly. And I don't want to fight the boss properly. Oh, no! Oh! I survived and I'm not sure why. I'm genuinely not sure how I survived that. I'll take it, but I genuinely don't fully understand. I seem to have some sort of invincibility effect happening there. You saw the little flash happen there. And I'm not sure how I do that. So, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take the extra life, but maybe that's just a Tainted Magdalene thing. But I didn't expect it. I did not expect that. Anyway, what do we got? There's some good stuff in here. Gimpy especially could be really strong. Right, I need to think for a minute. I don't have any guppy pieces yet. I might use the guppy piece once just to get some health going. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And I think that's just gonna be it here. I'll leave the guppy piece there because I think it's gonna end up working out. For Mega Satan in particular. It's gonna be a really awkward Mega Satan fight, and I'm probably not gonna win it, but maybe we can do some good stuff with it. I'm surprised how sturdy these are. I've done quite a bit of damage to some of them, at least with that Star Bethlehem, but they are not interested in dying. And that is not great. Alright, there we go. Also, somehow didn't even notice the health bar in the bottom. I think there might still be some fatigue in me, even though it's a different day that we're recording this. Alright, so we got the Yum Heart, so that's nice. I believe it went in this direction, and it did. It seems to be going towards a secret room, and that is a lot of enemies that drop red hearts, but unfortunately, I don't really have anything going for that. That is obviously fairly amazing. Little bit late, unfortunately, but still, it'll do. I'm just gonna follow this star around because it's being nice. It is being very nice indeed. This is not great, but manageable. Okay, that's good. I can wait for this because of, well, everything. That's nice. So the odds are we're gonna beat the lamb at least, and that's a good milestone, I'd say. Because this is more or less going to fight itself with that Star Bethlehem. You can be kind of awkwardly close to the boss fight the entire time, but then you got situations like this where the flies get spawned. Oh. I think I, tanked some damage again there for some reason or another, so I'm pretty happy that happens on occasion. Does end up helping out quite a bit, and we're gonna just try and complete some of this floor, maybe get a couple more health ups with that secret room item. I've gotten that item a lot as well, and I'm very happy every time I do because it does simplify life so much. Unfortunately, not going to be able to use our Star Bethlehem anymore because that's just going to stay in the boss room, but if anything, we'll have defeated the lamb this run, and it's a little bit of extra progress, and I can take that. I'm not going to have to worry about that anymore. Simultaneously, not being able to pick up the negative with this character is a little unfortunate for sure. If only due to the fact that there's a little bit of guaranteed extra damage right there. Let's just eat that. A little bit of unfortunate damage happening there, but fair enough. Hierophant card that could end up being useful for starting the Mega Satan fight or just having it somewhere in between. Probably fairly nice thing to keep with me. I really cannot melee you because you take way too much damage. That is Tiny Planet or that Dagaz. I'm just going to use that actually. I will take the health up once again. I should probably leave a health up behind. Just before they started the fight there. And then we're probably going to take Guppy's Paw into the fight itself. Because that's going to be incredible. It's going to be a lot of extra health that we can use to just run into things and not worry about life so much. It will slowly drain, but it's hopefully going to be enough to destroy Mega Satan at least. We can at least run into some of these enemies as well, even with that 1 heart of damage. Alright, I'm just going to leave that alone for now, because I think it's going to be useful to have lying around. Nothing there. Yeah, definitely worthwhile to clear this entire floor, I think. Especially every now and then charging that Yum Heart, getting some extra items. Actually getting a build, finally. It has been a fairly treacherous ride, but it's been a moderately successful one, so I'll take whatever I can get. I will take it for sure. No worries there. But again, if you can get the sharp plug, 100%. Just get that sharp plug and just, as long as you can afford to use the Yum Heart, just use it once and then just spam the Yum Heart button for the remainder of the run because it is so effective. If you can combine it with that car battery, then you end up getting so much health for it because it uses the item twice every single time. There's so much potential there. And that's really what you're hoping for with this character. It's definitely not guaranteed in any way, but it sure is nice when it does happen. I have 1 conjoined piece right now, and that's able, so I can't really go for anything else in that regard right now, but I'm tempted. Look at my tier 8 as well. It's not great, is it? Oh god, how many of this is actually in this room right now? I didn't notice it was even a big room, but hopefully this is gonna be fine. I got the sound of that Yum Heart as well. It's something else. We're making it through. It's not my favorite boss because it takes quite a while. And I am not playing it very well. I'm trying to be weird with it for some reason and it's not working out. I can't be directly below him because then he'll do his brimstone attack. God, really though? I need to stop doing that. It's actually getting stupid. I need to have some health for these remaining rooms. It would be a real shame to lose because I just ran into something this silly way, which I did just then. Might be worth to actually keep these alive, thinking about it. These white things just to generate some health, but... Whew, that was actually really close. I'm gonna take this health up. Oh no, Sister Maggie, that's almost part of the conjoin, but I really can't afford to lose more health right now. I really cannot, unfortunately, so I'm very sorry about that conjoin transformation right there, but it's really the only choice I had. That's unfortunate. Conjoin would have been really quite nice, but perhaps we can get one more flying person. It's fairly unlikely, I feel, but technically not impossible. Ooh, that's a good room. More rooms like that, please. Yeah, at least our health is going to be really good. And our damage is actually getting up there as well, which is wonderful. Didn't even mean to take that immediately. Kind of was going for the bomb, weirdly enough, but I don't have a full justification as to why I was going for the bomb, so I'm kind of happy that I didn't at the end of the day, I suppose. Fair enough. This secret room item is completely carrying this later part of the run. It's not even close how actually strong this item is being right now compared to the rest of the build. Is that conjoined or Lord of the Flies? I have like 1 other Lord of the Flies item right now, right? Is that even this run? No. I don't think I have anything Lord of the Flies relay. We're taking this. We're taking the luck up. We're taking the tier 8. I don't have luck. Oh, right. I get a whole bunch of extra damage just from eating things. I somehow forgot about that. But it's a nice little extra little surprise there, I suppose. And it does simplify life a lot. So much health, actually. The bot fly is obviously really strong, but honestly, right now, I'd rather have the stat ups. I'd rather have the humongous amount of health available. I could actually get flight for 2 hearts, and that's not a terrible deal. One I'm certainly considering right now. I don't think I need it that much. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. I'm actually just gonna go for it. We have a lot of health at our disposal right now, so that is looking wonderful. I cannot melee Mega Satan because we don't have flight, so that one's on me, I suppose. But we do have pretty decent damage for a little bit. For a little bit right here during this fight. We can use the Yum Heart when we hit that stage right there. We have Guppy's Paw available for all sorts of shenanigans. Once we actually start taking any damage. Which I will. So possibly on purpose. These size might actually be worth running into, yeah. They're just gonna end up giving me health. And then he spawned a bunch of stuff as well, so that ended up working out in my favor. And now it's just a matter of time before we're done here. God, that turned around so much. Amazing how one secret room item can completely change your build significantly. Because, quite frankly, it was not going great in that regard. My health situation is actually a little awkward looking at it now. Oh, this is actually going to heal me up a bunch, yeah. I forgot about that. That is so many hearts for a little while before they all disappear again. This shouldn't be too difficult. My damage is 7 right now. Like, it certainly has raised by a lot. Kind of amazing. And it's all thanks to a singular secret room item. I will take that. I have no problem with that. Oh my god, that's such a good brimstone attack that you did there. That killed the most difficult part of the fight. I should do that more often. I feel like you can manipulate that fairly easily. There's at least a decent chance that that happens, I suppose, every time you at least try and go for it. But yeah, at this stage, because we lose health at, well, half a heart per 10 seconds, we're still mostly going to be fine, probably, just because we have so much health now that it doesn't even matter. It's completely inconsequential because, if need be, we still have Guppy's Paw at our disposal. We're almost at the second phase of Mega Satan already. I'd obviously rather not use too much health in case we do get that Delirium portal to open, I suppose, but that's a whole other thing. I mean, I wouldn't mind fighting Delirium with this much health, I suppose, but it's just been quite the run, I suppose. It's been a little exhausting, and I wouldn't mind to just have reached the end of it at the end of the day. But we'll see. We'll see what we can get. Obviously, getting Delirium done with is preferable to not getting Delirium done, so we'll just see what we can do here. Unfortunately, 7.8 damage against a boss like this, while pretty useful in a lot of cases, not immediately ideal. But we have made it to the second part of Mega Satan. Provided I don't forget to use Guppy's Paw, we should be okay. Obviously not impossible because I am me, but I would really like it not to lose the run at this stage. I could technically like get the negative to activate if I really wanted to as well, but it also doesn't really seem like it's worthwhile. This is gonna take a minute though. Yeah, that makes it really awkward to dodge with the flashlight, unfortunately. Do need to kind of point that downwards, but that's fine. Yeah, okay, we're gonna start using these. I didn't expect Gimpy to pay out there, but he did. And I can appreciate that. It is getting a little tricky to dodge. This is an awkward fight with the flashlight because you can end up just creating walls for yourself here and there. Like I'm kind of doing now. I mean, this is manageable because there's tiny holes you can go through, but if you miss part of the flames as you saw previously, it just ends up being a really sad situation. Stuff like this, it is nice for a while until those tears start going as well, and then suddenly you have nowhere else you can really turn to. But I'm hoping these things are going to fall on the floor any second here. I'm sure hoping. I'm hoping real hard right now. There you go. So I'm not going to try to get in between those. We are nearing a 1 red health situation, so I'm just going to use that while we're dealing with that, but we ended up winning the fight. And no Delirium, fair enough. We made it to the end as Tainted Magdalene. We got the Queen of Hearts in the basement, which is a wonderful card. that drops like somewhere between 1 and 20 hearts or something, like red hearts, I think. So all in all, it was a bit of a struggle, but we got some stuff done, and I can kind of appreciate it. It is a character where, if you're lucky with the one shop item that you need to just insta-win, you just get everything unlocked pretty much. But with a run like this, it also shows how else the character can be if you just get a whole lot of nothing for a long period of time until the very end, where you get one of the strongest items in the game. Either way, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Next time we play, we'll play another character, and I hope to see y'all there. Bye-bye.